Good afternoon. My name is Jordan Hall. We're going to be looking at two external influencing factors for the third assignment on my client, Tesla. So based on the previous assignment, we found that Tesla, a giant of the electric vehicle industry, produced over $16 billion in profit last year and is a leader in marketing, and we look to improve that. We looked at two internal influencing factors last time, the first being need for motivation. We saw that there was a need for affiliation for our target market, and we created a loyalty program to help customers get together and collaborate. And we also looked at the attitude component, attitude internal influencing factor, and we looked at the affective component and how, there was a lack of emotional connection, and we offered a suite of customization options for the customers to feel more of a connection to their car. And from these findings, we're now going to look from those and move towards two external influencing factors. The first of those being reference groups, people who are formal, informal, they are fiction, they can be non-fiction, and they're people who influence overall impressions, thoughts, and just the overall beliefs about a product or a company, and they help, guide consumers' thoughts and their beliefs through all forms of media. They typically are family, co-workers. They can be aspirational figures. It depends on who you're trying to market towards, but all consumers value some form of reference group, and therefore it's important for marketers to leverage that connection. For us, the daily commuters make high involvement purchases and look for familiar people in their lives for if they have a co-worker, for example, that is looking to buy Tesla and they start driving it around, the target market and the consumers will look and go, oh, my co-worker's driving one, I wonder why, what's so good about them, and therefore it breeds that connection. The second of the influencing factors is the diffusion of innovation, which is made up of 5 determinants, which they create and they build the thoughts and the overall ideas of the innovation of the product over time throughout the population, and they help create adoption for the consumers towards these products. And they are made up of 5 determinants: the relative advantage, the complexity, the compatibility, trialability, and observability. We're going to focus on the final 2 as they are more important for our target market as Tesla. Trialability lets users try before they buy it. It's hands-on. It lets them feel the actual product and get a sense before they make a rush decision. And observability is seeing the product in use. It's seeing others use it, what they make of it, and what the overall opinions are to help them make up their own mind. For Tesla, we know that trialability of the car is important, so therefore letting consumers drive and be hands-on with the car is really important, and we know that it gives them confidence towards possibly purchasing in the future. The first recommendation for our reference group are offering discounts and large bulk purchases to companies and workplaces, trying to get in and work with those co-workers, those, informal groups that we talked about earlier that they really value as the target market. It revolves around consumers, getting to see their co-workers buying one. By offering discounts, it encourages others to purchase, to then see those purchases being made. It breeds about a sense of curiosity towards our target market. It was important because we knew that they value these opinions, and therefore we chose to target those over aspirational figures, because we know that celebrities sometimes can be deceiving in their marketing of products. The overall implementation can be used through creating ads and giving email promotions to businesses, getting it in their mind, chasing up on possibly purchasing, providing charging stations to help with the overall adoption. Hosting events, questions and answers that any businesses may have, and then launching the program through all these campaigns on the social media, the website, whether it be ads, whether it be emails, all sorts. The second recommendation for diffusion of innovation is the Try Your Tesla centers, which is allowing the individuals and the consumers to try the car before they purchase in each state of Australia. We know that they want to try before they buy, and they're high involvement products, so therefore we want to boost their confidence in the information search, knowing that they have as much information as possible to them, so they know everything about the product, and that's not just searching, that's actually feeling and driving. And we know that they're going to buy and use it often, so they want to know everything about it. And therefore, researching, finding the right sites, creating the right conditions, outdoor, indoor, giving them all impressions of what and how the car may be used is important in the implementation. Launching a campaign through social media as well, and then managing the data and giving, these important reflections of how the car drove to the consumers to help inform their purchasing decisions. Finally, you can see my references here for the figures and for the in-text citations. Thank you so much for listening.